Hello everyone, welcome to the CA3 Climate Action and Advocacy on the Airwaves podcast. My name is Simon Evans and I welcome you. This project was undertaken with the financial support of the University of Calgary's Mobilizing Alberta Climate Action Grant Program. We are broadcasting on 90.9 FM CJSW in Calgary. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta. The City of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Districts 5 and 6. I hope you enjoy your time here on the airwaves as we dive into the world of climate action.
Imagine you are planning to celebrate a significant milestone, your birthday, an anniversary, or child's birthday. You start to think about how you'd like to celebrate and what food you might like to eat. You might consider your cuisine preferences, what restaurant would be best, or your overall budget. You may also struggle to decide whether you want juicy ribs or golden crispy chicken wings, or might want to try a new cuisine. Let us pause and think. Does everyone have the same privilege to celebrate their significant milestones with food preferences? In fact, many people around the world struggle to access nutritious and adequate food due to financial restrictions and often have to prioritize affordability over nutritional value during their grocery trips, contributing to poor health outcomes in the long term. Hello and welcome to Climate Action and Advocacy in the Airwaves. I am Sewak Subedi Gautam, a fourth-year Bachelor of Social Work student at the University of Calgary. Today, I will delve into Sustainable Development Goal 2, which deals with zero hunger and food insecurity. Join me as I explore global and local perspectives on food insecurity, focusing on Calgary's challenges. I will spotlight grassroots initiatives combating hunger in Calgary. Stay tuned for insights and solutions. In 2015, the United Nations established 17 Sustainable Development Goals, including climate action, to combat climate change and raise awareness. Sustainable Development Goal 2 is about zero hunger, a world free of hunger by 2030. It emphasizes every individual's right to access adequate, safe, and nutritious food. Sustainable Development Goal 2 is an important topic that is often overlooked. Let me tell you a bit more about it. You know how the Universal Declaration of Human Rights says that everyone deserves a decent standard of living? That means stuff like clothes, shelter, and of course food. But, according to Sustainable Development Goals report from 2023, roughly 9% of folks worldwide are undernourished. And that's a whopping 690 million people going to bed hungry every single night. And it's not getting better. In 2022, hunger spiked to 9.2% globally, up from 7.9% before COVID-19 hit. Crazy, right? And it's not just about being hungry sometimes. Over 2 billion people can't reliably get enough food, and kids are hit hardest. It's mind-blowing considering how much food there is on this planet. But because of unequal access and lousy resource management, millions are left malnourished. So what exactly does food insecurity mean? The World Health Organization Department of Nutrients and Food Safety defines food insecurity as not having reliable physical, social, and economic access to sufficient, safe, and nutritious food that meets dietary needs and preferences. So keep listening as I explore more about food insecurity. I believe addressing hunger and food insecurity must be a top priority, especially given its impact on child health and development. Moss's Mosensieri Kansanga in the article Hunger in Early Life Exploring the Prevalence and Correlates of Child Food Insecurity in Canada, published in 2022, stated that child food insecurity is closely linked to compromised immune function, delayed physical development, and psychosocial dysfunction. And let us not forget that when kids do not get enough food, it can lead to health issues like heart disease, diabetes, causing more hospital visits and stress for struggling families. Let's take a deep dive into the current state of food insecurity in Canada. According to Statistics Canada, the percentage of families experiencing food insecurity has risen to 18% in 2022 from 16% in 2021 across Canada. There were over 1.9 million visits to food banks, surpassing the previous year's record as recorded by the Hunger Counts report produced by Food Banks Canada. This concerning trend highlights the widespread nature of food insecurity across diverse demographics and geographical regions. Now, let's take a closer look at the status of food insecurity in Alberta, specifically in Calgary. In March 2022, Food Banks Canada released the Hunger Count report, which showed a 34% surge in demand for food bank assistance in Alberta. And this translates to over 156,000 individuals, including over 57,000 children, accessing food banks in Alberta. And 1 in 5 Albertans experience food insecurity. It was found that 21% of Calgarians are concerned about their health because, shockingly, 29% cannot afford healthy food. And other concerning and scary numbers include the fact that 27% eat less food, and an overwhelming 45% buy less fresh vegetables and fruits. The numbers don't just stop there. 55% buy less meat and proteins. When I dug into food insecurity in Calgary, I found 4 major factors making it worse: disasters and climate change, farming issues, economic slumps, and poverty. The first major challenge we currently face is none other than the devastating impact of both disasters and climate change. The City of Calgary's Community Climate Risk Index report, published in 2021, reveals how climate change impacts our communities. And it's eye-opening. Basically, it shows how climate change messes with our communities. Think wildfires trashing air quality and messing up transport and food supplies. And don't even get me started on floods, droughts, and weird weather patterns wrecking agriculture. It's a whole mess that hits crop yields, animal farming, and food security hard. Let's talk about the second challenge we face today: agriculture. Agriculture has been an important part of Calgary's history and economy. The fertile prairies of the region provided a perfect environment for grain farming and cattle ranching, which were the people's primary income sources. However, there are some challenges in growing crops and raising animals due to the short growing season and dry weather. Urbanization and land development also threaten agricultural land, reducing the space available for food production. Climate change has worsened things by causing unpredictable weather patterns, and according to the Food System Assessment and Action Plan in 2012, to ensure that people in Calgary always have the access to healthy and fresh food, it is essential to encourage sustainable farming practice, support local food production initiatives, invest in urban agriculture, and improve food distribution network. So, the third challenge we are facing right now is an economic recession. The city of Calgary released a report called YYC Matters Economic Resilience 2023, which found that the Canadian economy went through a tough time a few years ago due to a drop in oil prices. But it started getting better. Unfortunately, the COVID-19 pandemic caused another economic downturn. This recession has made it harder for many people in Calgary to get enough food because they have lost jobs. Their incomes have gone down, and they are struggling to make ends meet. The high cost of living and inflation are also factors. A complex issue that challenges food insecurity in Calgary is poverty. Poverty poses a significant challenge to mitigating food insecurity in Calgary for several reasons. As a recent survey conducted by the Calgary Foundation revealed that 25% of city residents struggle to meet basic financial needs, a notable increase from 19% in 2022. A spokesperson for the Calgary Foundation emphasized that the issue extends beyond parents, with whole families skipping meals to cope with financial hardships. Targeted social protection or social safety net programs could help alleviate food insecurity and tackle poverty. Despite the fact that 1 in 5 Albertans is grappling with food insecurity, Calgary stands as a beacon of hope, with numerous dedicated organizations tirelessly working to combat hunger and promote food security right within our local community. During my learning journey, I had the opportunity to speak with representatives from a local charity organization, a local municipal government organization, and a food bank operating on a university campus. Let me share some insights from my interviews. The local charity organization that provides meals for children in need is working to ensure that kids, both in school and learning from home, receive daily meals. This organization recognizes the importance of consistent access to nutritious food for children's development and collaborates with groups, restaurants, and individuals to send healthy lunches to kids in their community. I spoke with a representative who told me that simply giving food is not enough to solve the hunger problem. Instead, we need to come up with long-term and creative solutions to help those struggling with food insecurity. This might include, but not limited to, teaching people how to cook nutritious meals and helping them start community gardens. In a conversation with a local municipal government organization, I learned that various shocks and stressors are significantly impacting food security within the city. This includes extreme weather events and economic challenges such as rising food costs, technology, and social disparities. As I continued our conversation, I also discovered the Food Resilience Program. They aim to build a robust food system through effective planning and land use. And how would they do that? Well, I found out they aim to achieve this by encouraging local food growth, making healthy food more accessible, and decreasing food waste. I also found out that the local municipal government is actively working on developing a resilience plan to ensure that all residents have access to 3 meals a day. They want to help local farmers and markets and encourage people to grow food. They want to help local farmers and markets and encourage people to grow food in their backyards or community gardens. The local municipal government also plans to offer low cost leasing city land to all interested Calgarians, enabling them to cultivate their own food, as demonstrated by innovative projects like Highfield Farm. This collaborative effort between the Compost Council of Canada and the City of Calgary works to revitalize neglected brownfield sites that have been abandoned and are no longer in use, and transform them to thriving urban community farms. Through this initiative, Highfield Farm not only promotes regenerative food practices but also cultivates community engagement. Now, allow me to outline the initiatives of a food bank operating on a university campus to address food insecurity among post-secondary students. Starting in 1993 to address student food needs, the university campus food bank became vital within the student union, assisting many students and their families. Yet, its relevance is now being questioned by a campus food bank representative, highlighting the need to focus on the root causes of food insecurity and foster connection with students seeking assistance. Recognizing that some students juggle multiple jobs to cover basic living expenses, the team devised a plan to educate students beyond providing food hampers through workshops on budget planning, meal planning, as well as presentation to university offices. The representative acknowledges ongoing challenges, including capacity constraint and data tracking, and says, "There is a lot more to do." Part of the challenge I realize is that focusing on important issues like food insecurity in our busy lives can be tough. But we need to change the way. We need to change the way we think about this problem and make sure everyone has a voice. And one way we can do this is by creating free events where people can learn from each other and work together to solve the underlying problems that lead to food insecurity. Talking about different programs in Calgary to fight hunger and foster food security reminds me of my own lived experience related to food insecurity in Nepal. Reflecting on a time when my family did not have enough food for over a month and had to skip meals was an incredibly tough and vulnerable experience we faced immediately after my father passed away. Our family business shut down. Each day became a struggle to survive, and the future seemed bleak and uncertain. It was a period filled with constant worry, stress, and helplessness. The hardest part was watching loved ones go hungry, and not being able to provide for the basic need was emotionally devastating. The feeling of inadequacy as a provider weighed heavily on my shoulders, and I had to drop out of college and go to India in search of a job to provide economic support to my family. During that time, the lack of resources in the community made the situation even more hopeless. We did not know where to turn for assistance, and pride often prevented us from reaching out for help. That period of food insecurity was one of the most challenging times in my life. I can't help but think how different things might have been in Nepal. I can't help but think how different things might have been if Nepal had community-based programs like those in Calgary. In times of hardship, such initiatives could have provided crucial aid, guidance, and solidarity as a ray of hope amidst the darkness of adversity. These experiences taught me the importance of empathy, resilience, and the need for a support system. It also instilled in me a deep sense of gratitude for simple things in life, like having enough food on the table to nourish both body and soul. To effectively address food insecurity and eliminate hunger in Calgary, Everyone needs to work together. Governments, non-governmental organizations, industry, and indigenous communities. A report called A Food System Assessment and Action Plan for Calgary suggested a few recommendations that caught my attention. For example, working with Alberta agriculture and rural development to create policies that support local food production. Figuring out how much of the food produced in Calgary is actually consumed here. Looking into how importing food affects our local economy. And creating a website where people can find information about the food situation in Calgary and get resources to help. In today's world, addressing food insecurity is not just a global challenge, but also a pressing local challenge. Local initiatives, such as those in Calgary, play a significant role in this fight. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to the dedicated experts from various organizations in Calgary who are tirelessly combating hunger and supporting food security in our communities. Your invaluable work and shared experiences stress the power of collective knowledge sharing in driving meaningful change. Our choices today hold the key to ensuring a secure future for our food supply. We can pave the way by wasting less, prioritizing nutritious eating habits, and embracing sustainable lifestyle, such as investing in agricultural innovation and infrastructure, supporting small-scale farmers, promoting equitable access to healthy food, and addressing the root causes of poverty. Let us not estimate the success of our community by the abundance on our table, but by the empty plates we aspire to fill and the hunger we dare to eradicate. So, what have you thought about doing differently to promote food security?
Thank you for listening to the Climate Action and Advocacy on the Airwaves. We hope you enjoyed your time here. This project was undertaken with the financial support of the University of Calgary's Mobilizing Alberta Climate Action Grant Program. We are broadcasting on 90.9 FM CJSW in Calgary. I would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the traditional territories of the people of the Treaty 7 region in southern Alberta. The City of Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Districts 5 and 6. Thank you, and I hope to catch you on the airwaves soon.